Oh my God, I'm gonna be in his Twitter feed.
Look at this me right at the back. I don't think that's you, dude. No, it's me right there.
So, how you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm really good now.
I didn't think like this many people could fit in this hotel. Like, I'm really surprised by this.
Yeah, tomorrow's gonna be insane.
Do I have a talk tomorrow? I don't have a talk tomorrow.
No, you just get to sign autographs all day.
That's all good, man.
Your hands are like...
I got in trouble today because apparently I talk to people too much. God forbid, right? I ask somebody how they're doing. How you doing? No, it's not. It's just sign, let it move. Alright, baby, cool down. That's what you mean. I'm just trying to like connect with people. Hey, how are you? Thanks for seeing me, you know? They're like, no, just let them sign. Alright, baby, you need to get, you know.
Was that really the voice you heard or the way it sounded?
It was a pretty similar voice to that. I hope she's not in here because it was like. You were mocking me. Alright, we're doing this stuff.
Alright. So hey, we haven't seen you in a while. The last time I saw you, you were betraying Starfleet. And,
I like to see it as saving my daughter's life. There's a few parents in here, and you know, I'm sure that it would be a consideration. You know, you gotta save your daughter's life or blow up a few other people. You know, you weigh up the options.
Because you work with J.J. Abrams.
I have. Amazing man.
Amazing man.
Yeah.
And you get to be one of those actors who can say you've been part of both Doctor Who and Star Trek.
I know, dude. That's pretty good. All I need now is either a Marvel film or like Star Wars.
Star Wars, right?
I'll be like a messiah of sci-fi or something like.
Episode 7, like the trailer just dropped today on YouTube.
Sweet.
And I could have sworn there's this one flash scene where there are all these stormtroopers on a carrier. I could have sworn it was you in the back in one of the trooper outfits.
Dude, that's me in the back! I don't think that's you, man. No, it is! Dude, let me tell you something. I would absolutely love if it was me, but I'm afraid it's not. I can tell you that much. I would absolutely love it, but it's not me.
So you're not in Star Wars Episode 7?
Not in the slightest.
So you're categorically saying you can neither confirm nor deny.
No. I can deny. No, I'm not in it. I would love to know. I'm not in it in the slightest at all. That would be awesome though, man.
But you're waiting.
Dude, man, well, there's 3 of those films, and then there's the ones in between. Like, roll the dice. I gotta get in one of those motherfucking movies at some point. I'm hoping at some point there's some part that turns up, but you know, if not, I'll still watch as a fan. I'm a fan of all that stuff, so I'll watch it anyway, but hopefully I'll get in one, who knows.
Well, there would be like, you know, Billy D. Williams, John Boyega, and then you.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh, Samuel L. Jackson. I mean, finally there are people of color in the Star Wars universe that aren't green.
I know John's like a lead role, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd love to be in one of those supporting roles or a lead in one of the middle movie or whatever. You know, I don't care. Something. But I'm not one of those actors who's like, I'll play a tree, I'll play anything. No, I'm not gonna play a tree. I want to be something good if I ever get one, and if I don't, I don't.
You realize those trees in those movies get a lot of screen time.
Yeah, I know. If there's a tree in Guardians of the Galaxy, how many actors are like, I'm not playing a tree. Next thing is think like the star of the movie, right? The actors now at home like penniless, like, damn it, I should have played the tree.
I find it interesting how the role of the male companion on Doctor Who seems to both evolve and kind of reinvent, but also revisit previous themes, going from Mickey and Rose to Amy and Rory to Clara and Danny. How have you seen the way the writers have been kind of playing with that dynamic of the triangle between the Doctor, the companion, and the companion's significant other?
I mean, I think it's been all right. I mean, I think there was an element of Mickey in Rory at the start, wasn't there? Kind of, you know. But I think that they got out of that. I haven't really seen what's his name? Danny? Danny Pink?
Right.
I don't like the name for a start, but Pink. I haven't really seen much of him. I've been quite busy over the last few months. But I mean, I think it's an important part of the show. It's a very important part of the show now. It grounds it. The human relationships ground the show in a way that maybe it wasn't always grounded before. And I think everyone's going to be compared to Mickey and Rose because obviously that was the first time that was really explored properly and really done properly. And I think that, you know, it's a big learning curve for me and, you know, for that character of Mickey. I mean, you know, the poor guy goes through the ringer at the start. You know, really unpopular, really kind of a buffoon type character as well. But I think while Russell was discovering his writing and, you know, we were discovering the part, really, by the end, where he ended up, you know, that whole thing really helped the character. You know, if he had started off as quite cool, it maybe would have been really flat and horrible, but because of the way he starts and the way he, you know, currently concludes, and, you know, I think it works. But in terms of the other things, I mean, yeah, Rory and Amy were good. Like I said, I've not seen too much of this one. Is it working? Do we like Danny and Woo, that is not a positive reaction, is it?
That was supposed to get
The storyline's kind of over.
Yeah, that
was now, of course, you have Doctor Who fandom and how they feel about the Doctor and the companions. There's always this interesting thing that occurs where you have fans who will say they prefer a particular companion for the Doctor over the one, let's say the writers put them together.
Yeah.
Now, do you ever have like fans that come to you and say, you know what, I would have chosen you over the Doctor?
No.
No?
Who says that? Who's gonna choose Mickey over the Doctor? Like, no.
No groupies? No, you know?
Groupies are different, man. No, I think it's a weird thing, isn't it? I think most people would have done what Rose did. I think what people over the years didn't like was the way she kind of did it. It seemed almost quite cold and heartless towards the Mickey character. I don't know if it was meant to be that way, but that's how it kind of seemed. And I think people didn't really like how Rose, the character, handled it, or how it was handled in the writing, as opposed to that they wouldn't go. Who wouldn't go with the Doctor? I don't know. Who wouldn't have gone with the Doctor? There you go. This dude over here, I love you too, brother. Room 1410. Okay. I'm just playing, I'm not in that room. Do not harass the people in that room. I repeat, do not harass the people in that room.
Because you're in that room, right?
Yeah, go knock it in and see if I answer the door, see what happens. You'll be thrown out of this place. Some unsuspected guy reading his newspaper up there like, oh, I'm gonna have a quiet evening, and all of a sudden, oh, Mickey!
I gotta think that's what it was kind of like on the set with you.
Yeah, we had fun, man. I'm full of energy. We have a laugh. I always try to have a good time, you know. And I think like my Twitter bio is representative of you are what Eminem has this song. I am whatever you say I am. So it's representative of people that say things, you know. You be minding your business on Twitter, someone just comes like, hey, you're an a-hole. All right, bro, fine, thanks, man. Thanks.
Oh, that's where that came from.
Yeah, it's just representative of, you know, things. Sorry, it's okay. I blocked and reported you. It's fine. Interacting with people, so I will use it and I'll talk to people. And I'll be like, hey, I'm in this show. Do you want to see it? Watch it? Blah 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 blah. I love that side of it. I love being able to, you know, talk to some of you guys. Hopefully, I've responded to some of you guys at times. You know, I love it. And then you have this horrible side where someone can just go on and say whatever they want about you, and it's just out there. And people might believe it, or people might take it, and unless, you know, you can start suing people for slander, but like, who has the money to do that? You know, and even if you do have the money to do it, there's better things to be spending your money on. You know what I mean? So it can be really, really horrible. And I don't think those companies do enough at all. Because some of the things that people say to you online, you couldn't say that to someone in the street. Like, you can't just go up to someone and say, hey, you're a beep in this, that, and the other, and I think your mother's a beep. Like, one of two things would happen. If the law enforcement saw that, they would arrest that person. Or you would just pop them in the mouth. I'll just punch you in the mouth. Straight up. But online,
I don't like how you keep like staring right at me.
But online, people can say whatever they want. And I think the law and the authorities are going to take, it's all new, isn't it? It's in the last 10 years, so they're taking time to catch up, but they will.
So you would say that the experience you have on social media is way different than the experience you might have at a convention.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I get to shake people's hands. I get to talk to people. Try to get too much. I get to, do you know what I mean? And I don't get to do that every day. Like if I put up a post online and this many people respond, I can't sit there and answer everyone. Do you know what I mean? I just can't do it. You don't have time. But I'm here now. I can wave. If we had time, you can shake everyone's hand. Like I much prefer this stuff. But social media is a necessary evil. You have to use it. You don't have to use it, but if you want to engage with people and talk to people and promote your stuff, and then you do have to use it.
How to create your own Doctor Who episode? What would it be?
I have a funny story about that. Well, it's not that funny. I don't know what it would be now, but I remember. So I wrote an episode of Torchwood. Thanks. For those of you that don't know, I write as well and stuff like that. I wrote an episode of Torchwood in season 1 called Combat, which was episode 11. And so anyway, the point is, to answer your question, I was harassing them to write for ages. I was like, hey, can I write something? And they were like, oh yeah, of course, pat me on the head. I was like, these guys are not taking me seriously. So a couple months ago, I'm like, hey, can I get a chance to write something? Oh yeah. So I went home and I wrote like half a Doctor Who episode. I just went home and I wrote half a Doctor Who episode, and essentially the episode was like he landed on this planet and there was like everybody was a doctor, not like Time Lords, but they were all saving. He didn't have anything to do. And they kind of did that with David Morrissey's kind of thing, didn't they?
Yeah.
I wonder what they got out of him. Anyway, so I gave that to Russell and those guys, and they were like, oh, that's great actually, but your writing's a little bit dark for what we want. But we got this new show called Torchwood. I was like, Torchwood? Who wants to write that? And then anyway, they let me write for that. So that was it. So essentially, that would be my kind of thing. The doctor lands somewhere and doesn't have anything to do because everybody's a doctor kind of thing. But then of course, they're all villains, blah, 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 that. Boom. You're welcome.
Hi, I was wondering, what was your favorite episode to film?
Probably, well, there's 3 episodes, if I can say. That's greedy of me. You said 1, not 3. So, is it Rise of the Cybermen and Age of Steel? Is that right? Did I get it right? Yeah. Where there's obviously, you guys like the Mickey and Ricky. Let's do it like a pantomime. Mickey and Ricky. These are terrible, these guys, man. No wonder you had to make it happen twice. All right, let's do it again. Mickey and Ricky and Mickey. That's better. So yeah, those 2, and then I quite like Boomtown as well. And the reason I like Boomtown is because, thank you, Russell Robert. I'm just saying it. The reason I like Boomtown is because Russell hadn't written an episode. He hadn't written episode 11, and he really liked what I did. And I thought it was terrible. I really disliked it. I've spoken about it many times, but he liked what I did in 1, 4, and 5. Rose, Aliens of London, and World War III. And he said, I'm going to write you into Boomtown as well. We're going to make it a really small episode because we use all our special effects in the last 2. And he wrote Boomtown. And I think, for me, when you look at where Mickey starts and you look at where Mickey ends, for me, Boomtown is the beginning of the change. You're welcome.
Hi.
Hey, buddy.
So, what's your most funny story from recording on set?
I can't think you can find just one.
I don't know, really. I don't know. I don't have many. There's not many funny stories because we were just laughing all the time. But I tell you, if you look at the Christmas Invasion, so when David lands and he comes out the TARDIS, and he's all like, oh, and he's like, oh, Jackie, Mickey, and we're there. We were laughing so hard that day, like so hard, that actually in that very scene, if you watch it, everyone should go and watch it, you'll see my cheeks like popping out the side over here. Even though we're all being very serious, because he's like, Jackie, oh Mickey, and he just lands and he comes out before he faints, right? And like we were just dying with laughter. I don't know why, what happened, but all day long we were laughing. And you literally watch that scene, and on my face, it starts, and just as I'm about to smile, they cut away, and then behind my head, my cheeks are like out here. And still we're laughing. It's so terrible, because obviously we weren't supposed to be laughing, but that's really funny. If you watch it, you'll notice it now. Like my cheeks are like over here.
Thank you.
No worries, man.
I was wondering who you found yourself more similar to, Mickey or Ricky?
Who do you guys think I'm most similar to?
Ricky.
Ricky. All right, there you go. Yeah, I think, so basically, where this, whoa.
Wait, I mean, you said you're kind of offended by that.
No, not offended in the slightest. I think, I'll give you the basis of where it came from. So Russell, I think I'm more like end Mickey, which I guess is kind of like Ricky, but it's end Mickey. Russell basically, after the first few episodes, you know, sat me down and we started talking about the next season, and he said, oh, darling, you know, I love you. I was like, oh, great, Russ. He says, basically, in a roundabout way, he said that I'm quite a man's man, like quite, I don't want to say the word cool, but yeah, Fonzie kind of cool, you know? And he said that Mickey was so different, but he liked me, and that he was going to slowly take the character towards my personality more. And that's, I guess, where Ricky came, and then I guess that's where Mickey ended up in the end. So I think that if I was to be more like anyone, I'm definitely not like Mickey. I think these guys are right, I'm more like Ricky, but I would say end Mickey. Thank you. Hi.
So, my question is, do you think, out of all the companions, besides obviously Rose and Jack, because those ones you interacted with most, which one do you think Mickey would be friends with and why?
Probably Rory. Probably Rory, because like, you know, those boys go through a lot, right? I think they would have had like an understanding with each other of, you know, what it was like to have this doctor like come into your life and steal your girl, and you know, whether you go with them or not. So yeah, that's what I would say. I think it's a shame that we never got to. It's a shame the characters never got to meet actually. You know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I know your relationship, like on the TV show, was like very strained.
Strained. Yeah.
Yeah, with the doctor and you. But like, how was it offset with the 9th and 10th Doctor?
Cool, man. I mean, yeah. I mean, they're both good guys. Chris, I really like. Number 9, like he's a real interesting guy. I mean, you'll be a long time before you see that brother. I gotta tell you, like he's like a stubborn guy, right? I don't know why he hasn't really been about, but he's kind of a really interesting guy, very intense, and you know, if he says the sky's blue, then it's blue. You know what I mean? And then, you know, David's a lot of a lighter guy, smiley, you know, a lot kind of chattier and stuff. But I mean, yeah, I got on with both of them. I don't really have a favorite. Well, that's not true. I do have a favorite. I think Matt's my favorite doctor, but in terms of people, they're both good guys. So there you go. Thank you.
We started watching a series you did several years ago with Sarah Smart called Jane Hall.
Oh yeah, right, yeah. That's a bit naughty for you, isn't it, that series, bro?
Well, there's this scene.
How old are you?
I'm 26.
Oh, okay. Brother looking about 12 out here. I'm like, you shouldn't be watching that show.
No, there's a scene in one of the first, I'm only 2 episodes in, but where you know, you're having an affair with a woman, and her husband finds out.
Well, an affair or?
Yeah. Her husband's holding you out of the second-story window by the pants, and
that's
he's
right.
like, he wants to kill you, but I thought that was, you know, really funny, but
yeah, it was amusing. Yeah.
Yeah, no, what was your experience like filming that show? Because Sarah Smart's somebody I'm a big fan of.
Sarah Smart is a great actress. She's wonderful. Yeah, you guys should look if you get the chance to see Jane Halls. It's a bit naughty, but that's why I asked him his age. So yeah, filming that show was good. Yeah, I was literally like naked hanging out that window. Like it was like upside down as well. So I mean, my butt was it was all out, bro. was pointing in the right direction, but that was because of the gravity. I was upside down. So I mean, it was, man, it was pretty scary. The stuntman just tied this thing around your ankle, then he'd throw you out, literally, and he's pulling my pants, and man, it was scary. But it was a fun show. It was fun to film. If you do see it, it was a very cold night. I just want to say that. It was winter, so you know, just letting you know. But yeah, it was great. Check it out if you get a chance. There's loads of women, like loads of wives, man. Write that down, King. The husband's like, will you write stuff writing that down? Yeah, thanks, bro. Hey.
Question. Which do you think is
I love that how she said question. I love it. You're so cute.
Which do you think is worse, the Dalek or Cybermen?
Well, I'm more scared of the Cybermen. When I was a kid, I was more scared of the Cybermen. Because, you know, there was that old classic kind of thing about, you know, we all know better now. Us sci-fi fans, we knew that Daleks could go upstairs. But there used to be this whole thing where people didn't like Doctor Who. They'd be like, well, how did they get up the stairs? You know? But when I was really young, I was kind of thinking that too. So Cybermen scared me more because I knew they could just climb up and, you know, I was always a lot more scared of the Cybermen. And I think I remember one of my clearest memories was it? Right, you guys will tell me. It was a Cyberman getting a piece of gold rubbed in his thing. Earthshock. Is that where Thingy died as well? What do you mean, Jiggy? Adric? Dude. Is that right? That thing haunted me for years. I don't know why, but that moment, that thing just haunted me for years, like always. I always remember that. So Cybermen is the answer. Are you scared of Daleks or Cybermen? Yeah. I kind of feel that way, but Cybermen kind of just went out for me. Thank you.
I gotta interject real quick.
Yo.
What do the Daleks do with that plunger anyway?
Dude, I don't even want to tell you. Because they catch you and they plunge you with that. I don't even want to tell you, bro.
Okay, first off, I would like to wish you an early happy birthday.
Oh, thank you very much, man. Thank you so much. It's so cool.
And my question is, what was your best time on set?
All of it. I really liked all of it. Like, honestly, I was a fan of the show, so I'm not one of those actors who just comes in and like talks. You know what it's like, the actors come in and talk, I love Doctor Who. Like, you never watch an episode in your life, bro. You know what I mean? But I used to watch it when I was young, and Peter Davison was my doctor. Yeah, I have told him as well, like, we have good chats. And so all of it, like, it was just, from the moment I got the call, I was in Thailand filming another show called I'll Be the Same Pet, which a few people have mentioned today. And I was in Thailand filming that, and then I got, you know, I had auditioned previously, I got the job, and from the moment I started until the moment it was over, I loved it. You know? And if it wasn't the story arc and the way it ended, I would have still been there. If I was still supposed to. There you go. Thanks. I'm chronicling this. Yo.
Okay, you're amazing and really hilarious.
Thank you.
So who is your all-time favorite villain on Doctor Who? Not just the ones that you worked with, but like all time.
Probably the one that haunted my dreams the most would be Davros. And then I was so stoked when I got to work with, I don't even remember the actor's name, Davros. I got to work with Davros. I was so happy because that was always one that really, really scared me. And so yeah. Who? Julian Bleach, fantastic actor. But Davros, definitely was, freaked me out. Thank you. Hey.
Well, the Ninth Vortex actors treated Mickey very well. Do you think that's sort of part of what makes him more likable, that you feel bad for the doctors treating him?
I don't know, I guess so. I think, do you know what I think it is? I think that much more than maybe some of the later guys, even Captain Jack was so popular, but he's immortal, he's cool, he's this, he's that. That doesn't relate to everybody, you know what I mean? I feel like Mickey maybe related to people because, like, we're all sci-fi fans and we're Doctor Who fans, so you kind of like, oh man, great, the TARDIS. But if you didn't know about that and that happened to you, you would probably be terrified. And I think him being terrified and then slowly growing up and becoming a hero, I think a lot of guys will relate to that. You know what I mean? There's a lot of guys sitting on the couch and like, yep, that could be me. Do you know what I mean? Whereas you see Captain Jack straight away, he's cool, but like not everyone's like, oh, I could be that cool straight away. But to become cool, I think a lot of people can do that, and I think a lot of people do that in their work, in their lives. They struggle with things and they get better and better and better and improve and work hard, and I think that's what kind of Mickey did, and so there. Thank you. Hey, Doc.
Hey, who do you think was a better doctor, David Tennant or Christopher Eccleston, and why?
I'm not scared of questions, don't worry. I say Chris, and I'll tell you why. Woo! Yeah, don't be shy. I'll tell you why. He had an intensity about him and a coolness. You know, David was great, but without Chris, there would be no David. You know what I mean? If he didn't bring that show back, and make it cool and edgy and that leather jacket and make the world watch it again, then who knows where it would have been. You know, it needed that edge, and I'm not sure that if it had come back with Matt or David, if it had come back with those guys being a bit lighter and a bit kooky, if it had maybe taken straight away, because I think that's what maybe people were expecting, just a lighter kind. I mean, their episodes are still great and awesome and scary, but I feel like when Chris Eccleston playing the Doctor was like Daniel Craig playing Bond. He changed it in a way that made it relevant again. So I say Chris. Thank you.
How did you feel when Mickey found out he was the Tin Dog?
Man, do you know what? I think it was a revelation, right? I think when Mickey realized he was the Tin Dog, it made him go, I'm gonna change. I'm gonna change. So, you know, you have Boomtown as the first step of the change when he's like standing in the fire looking at Rose. I'm like, ooh, he looks cool. You know? And then you have that school reunion when he realizes he's the Tin Dog and he's like, I need to be cooler than this. And then we go into Cyberman H still blah blah blah, and then he becomes cool, he stays, and then I think, you know, those are all important changes in people's lives, really. You know, I think you got to think about real life as well. I know it's a show, but in real life, there's moments in your life where you go, I need to stop doing that. You know? Yeah.
Alright, question 2.
Question 2.
Besides the Chris and David,
Yeah.
which doctor would you travel with?
Matt Smith. All day long.
Nice talking.
Love you talking. Thanks, man. Rose.
Hi.
Woo, how you doing?
Good.
Sweet, man.
When you said that you didn't know where Mickey's character was really going when you first started, what was it like to learn that Mickey was going to hit this big boom and become this amazing man?
Man, it was awesome. I mean, do you want to know a secret? So, what am I going to tell you? Yeah, so Mickey was only supposed to be in 3 episodes. Yeah, he was only supposed to be in Rose, Aliens of London, and World War III. That was it. And then, like I said, Russell told me about, I really like you, blah, 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 we're going to put you in Boomtown. And then from then on, he included me in and put it more. So for him to go and then sat me down and told me about season 2, and I mean, I was really happy, really happy. And I feel like another secret which worked, so another thing that happened, so when we finished, what did we come back and do? When we all came back and then I walk away with Barrowman and Fremont. What was that? What episode was that? I was about to say Journey's End. So yeah, Journey's End, right? So me and Fremont, me and Martha leave with Captain Jack. We're supposed to be in Torchwood. We were supposed to be in Torchwood, but we both got booked, we're actors. She got booked on shows, I was making movies, so we never got to be in it, but we actually were supposed to both be in Torchwood. And then another thing that happened coincidentally was at the very end, when I realized we were married, I had the beard and all the gruff stuff, and it looks really cool. I was actually filming a movie called Centurion with Michael Fassbender, and I wasn't allowed to shave. I wasn't allowed to shave, so I had to come and do that scene with all the beard and stuff. But I think when you look at Mickey at the start and you look at him at the end, all those coincidences and all those things really make it work. And so, with the news that I was going to do that, and then with all the things that happened that made it, I guess, come out so cool and give the character that cool art, I was very, 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 very happy.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
While you were doing Star Trek,
Yeah.
I was just wondering how exactly you actually got the part.
Star Trek was a regular audition. Just a regular audition. I wasn't even in LA at the time, I was in London, so they were like, yo, JJ just said, can you put yourself on tape? Obviously we're seeing loads of actors. I tried to book all the taping places, because what you do, you get an audition like that, a big one, there's taping places you can go as an actor, and they tape you professionally, and all this kind of thing, and you go, hey, I'm such and such, and do your scene. And I tried to book all the tape, and I was in the middle of shooting a movie called Fast Girls at the same time, so I was like, oh my God, how am I gonna do this? So I called up a taping place to book it, full up. They were like, yeah, we need this by Wednesday. I'm like, it's Monday night. How am I gonna do this? Called up another taping place, full up. So I called my buddy, I was like, yo, all these taping places are full up. Can you come around my house? So I did it in my kitchen. I know, I did it in my kitchen, the fridge was buzzing. I was like, this is the worst tape ever. Like, I shouldn't even send this to JJ's people. Like, this is a disgrace. I usually go to this professional place, send the tape off, like really annoyed, and then about a week later, they were like, yeah, dude, you got the part. I knew it. I didn't know it. So it was great. It was good.
Also, they are making a Star Wars Episode 8 as well, so you should do that.
Thanks, man. I would love to. Email JJ, tell him.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Good. My question is sort of like his. I love doing Star Trek, by the
Thank
way.
you.
How was working on that movie?
Great. I mean, it was an amazing experience. To work with people I know as well, knew as well, and obviously I know Simon a little bit and Benedict a little bit. So to work with people that I knew and feel comfortable, and JJ is an amazing man. Like I've met a lot of people in this business over the years I've been doing it, and he's a special guy. Like really is. Like, and always polite, always friendly. I've never really seen the guy get annoyed. I don't know if he has a room in his house that he smashes up or something like that. I don't know. He's just always seems in a good mood, and it was a great experience. Really great experience.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey.
I was just wondering, like, how did you get the part in Doctor Who? Like, did you call someone and they were like, hey?
Yeah. So Doctor Who was it was just auditions. I mean, I heard there was a rumor that it was coming back, and then my agent was like, yeah, they're auditioning for this part in Doctor Who. And I was like, man, this is going to be so awesome. I'm a fan, this is going to be awesome. A lot of the journalists were like, oh, it's going to be a joke, it was a sham, and when it ended, it's going to be a sham again. I was like, no way, this is going to be great. And it was a non-specific role, so it meant that it wasn't like for anyone of color, like it was any color, any race, any, it wasn't just like open for like people of color or anything, it was everyone. So I go in, there's all these actors, I'm like, I'm never getting this job, man. You're competing with everyone, I'm never getting this job. So the story is that I'm gonna go back in time, and years before that, I worked on I did one episode of a show called Holy City, just one episode, which is like an ER type thing, right? A doctor show that goes on. And I did one episode, and I went to that thing, and there was a director there called Keith Boak, and he was all right, and we got on really well. I did what he said, I smiled, he was really nice. And the regular actors were being quite mean to him, because he was like a director that just came in, did a couple episodes. Anyway, so I was really nice to him, because I'm nice to most people, as long as they're nice to me, I'm cool. And that was the end of it. So, forward back in time, I walk into the Doctor Who audition, and I think, I'm never going to get this. And who's sitting there? That director's sitting there. And he was directing the first block. I was like, man, good to see you, how you doing? He's like, great. So I did my audition, thinking I'm never getting this. And Ross and Julie were there, and at the end of it, I walked out and said bye-bye, and he just looked at me and gave me a little wink. Like that. And then I got the job. And so, I mean, the moral of the story is, and you should do this anyway, not just for work, but the moral of the story is be nice to everyone. I would always choose Mickey. I think there's too much pressure being the Doctor, so I'd always choose Mickey. Thanks, brother. Let's go.
Since you started with Rose and ended with Martha, I'd like to know how it feels to be the man who not only got his girl stolen by the Doctor, but you got one up on him in the end.
Well, I mean, you know, Mickey loves the Doctor, so there's no competition, but obviously, you know, it's nice to, there's a more adult answer to this question. But
Yeah, I know. They're children.
I won't go there. But, yeah, no, great. I think yeah, Mickey feels great that he managed to, you know, have a good relationship with both those ladies. That's a PC way of saying it. Yeah. Thank you, man. Boom, preacher, let's go.
I was wondering, how did it feel to be on that ship made of human body parts, like with the eye, security camera, and the...
Oh, Girl in the Fireplace? Yeah. There was a horse on that ship too, right? Yeah. Can I keep the horse? No, I didn't keep Mickey that time, man. Doctor, so funny. Yeah, it was great. It was great. I loved it. I mean, that was the first time. That was his first adventure, right? So he was out, and man, I was so happy. And I had that Nintendo T-shirt, which was my idea. Because I'm a gamer, and so I was like, can I wear this T-shirt? They were like, we don't think you can, because it's like Nintendo. So we just crossed out the Nintendo, but I knew that everyone would know the controller. They weren't too smart back then, so yeah. I really, you know, I loved it. I was really happy.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
What's your favorite place you've ever filmed?
Favorite place I've ever filmed? That's a toss-up between Cuba and Arizona. I think Arizona. What?
Dude, two totally opposite sides of the spectrum.
I know, but she asked me that, you know, Cuba was cool, but Arizona, man, because then I went to the Grand Canyon, I'd never seen it before, and I was like, woo, you know. So it was cool. Fez, man, what's happening, brother?
So, as far as you and Matt Smith, after both of y'all got done, y'all both shaved your hair. What's up with that?
Dude, I have to shave my hair. This stuff is like, I feel like if I shower too much, my hair comes off. Like, I think like in about 5 years, I might be going up for Kojak or something like that. Do you even know Kojak? You might be too young for Kojak.
No, sir.
Yeah, it's a bald-headed detective that was, when I was a little kid, it used to come when it was a show. But yeah, I think that over the years, like it's not as thick as it used to be, and I think shaving it's a good look, so I dig it. I think he did it because he's in like a $10 billion movie. So, kind of different reasons, but, you know, equally cool. Thank you. You should try it, bro. Yo, girls need the short hair, brother. Is this your lady here?
No, that's my sister.
Sister? Alright. Your sister's hot, man. Thanks, brother, thanks. Hot sauce in a red dress, hey.
After all your experience on Doctor Who, what would you miss the most?
What do I miss the most? I guess the camaraderie. You know, everyone was really cool. It's really like a family when you're filming. You know, you're away from home because we were all in Cardiff, obviously, and it's just like a real family vibe. Everyone gets on. The set was cool. You're working with amazing people, with creatures, and it's like, you know, when you're young and you're like, man, I'd love to do that, and then you're doing it. It never feels like work if you're having fun. So it was always awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.